Maybe you're going through a tough time in life. Maybe you've become injured. Maybe you have some grey cloud looming over you and you don't know what's wrong. Maybe you have absolutely no direction, no clarity, and you don't know what to do. You would describe yourself as being stuck in a rut. This happened to me where I finished university. I was living this sick life in university. I was getting my student loan, having all this money. My YouTube was growing. It's blowing up. I can't remember. I think I was like reaching 100,000 subscribers or something. I was like getting to where I wanted to be. I had a girlfriend. My life was going really, really well. And then I got to the end of university and I suddenly had no uni work to do. I suddenly didn't have this like project that I had to complete. I broke up my girlfriend. I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't have all this money coming in from my student loan. I wasn't living with my friends. I moved back into my parents' house and I was in my parents' house in the middle of nowhere by myself with no clear job, no clear goal, no direction. I didn't know what to do and I felt fucking miserable. Started smoking weed. I just smoked and played video games. What did I play? Battlefield 4, I think. Battlefield 4 literally until like 2-3 a.m. every single day, and then woke up at like 2 p.m. and just felt absolutely shit. Got high every night, ate loads of food every night, started to get fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter, stopped going to the gym. My car was broken as well. At this point, I was being a victim, blaming everything on external things, being like, my life is so difficult. So I'd very rarely go to the gym. If I would go to the gym, I'd walk like several miles to get to the gym, quite often in the pouring rain and the dark, because it is winter in the UK and it gets dark at like 4 p.m. in the darkest points of winter. And yeah, I felt very alone, miserable, waste of space, and did not know what to do with myself. And in short, what happened was I'd lost all momentum in my life and became a victim. Like anything that was giving me any kind of progression, I stopped doing. So even like going to the gym, even doing like my morning routine, even reading a book, even doing 10,000 steps a day, all these little things like I'd stopped doing, and I just stripped myself of any kind of progression or any kind of value. Like there was nothing measurable in my life that I was improving in, and it was completely my fault. I just felt like I was regressing. I was getting worse. I was going absolutely nowhere, and I just lost all that momentum. And I want to say that obviously everyone's situation is different. Everyone goes through different things. But if you've ever been in a rut, the first thing to realize that makes it so much better, man, is like everyone goes through it. This might be the first time you're going through it. It might be the second time, but it will not be the last time. I've been through a few of these in the last few years of my life, or the last like 5-6 years. And the first one was absolutely brutal. It's like that I just explained. And like I literally thought the world was going to end. Like I was on the verge of wanting my existence to cease being, to put it into a nice way. Like I was not enjoying myself, man. I was fat. I was miserable. And like this has happened again a couple of times in the last few years. But I've handled it a lot differently, and the things that I've done is like I've made sure that I haven't just stopped doing everything and felt sorry for myself. This is the most important thing. I've maintained some kind of momentum. I've maintained something in my life, and it's like the knowledge that I know that everyone has been through this and everyone will go through it, and that I can get out the other side, and that other people have got out the other side. That knowledge alone, being self-aware that like this isn't just something that happens to me, this happens to everyone, is fucking liberating, dude. And if you just understand that like this is part of life, it's part of growing up, going through these ruts, no one is happy 100% of the time, then it's going to make things a whole lot easier. So what did I do differently in the times where this has happened versus the first time where I absolutely hated my life? So it's still difficult, it's still mentally challenging, I'll still have my days where I feel like shit, but the main thing that I ensure is that I keep some kind of momentum going in my life. So what do I mean by that? Like previously I stopped going to the gym, I stopped doing everything, okay? If I go through one of these dips in life where maybe I don't know about my career path, maybe I'm questioning what I'm doing, maybe I don't know what to do, is like I will keep some things that will remain regardless of where I am at physically, emotionally, or mentally. And that is training. I will keep training. I will keep going to the gym. I will keep setting goals, and I will keep progressing in the gym, tracking my workouts and improving on that sense. It's like just keeping that little bit of momentum going. It's like, have you ever tried to push a car from stationary? It's like impossible to move it. And then when it starts to roll, it's like it's so easy. You want to keep rolling, like even if it's like dragging yourself along with one arm, like, and your legs are broken, all this shit, you want to maintain some kind of momentum. So keep training, keep doing those things that you need to do. Get habits, get a routine relating to your training so you've got no excuses. Automate your training so you know exactly what you're doing in the gym, you know when you're doing it, and you're tracking your progression so you're still seeing progress and still keeping that momentum going. Keeping little things like reading. Set yourself a goal of reading a chapter every week or a book a week if you're a super fast reader, or if you're quite an established reader. So you basically want to set little things and little goals that keep you going in the right direction. That is the most important takeaway thing from this video. Set goals that keep your momentum going. Do something, not nothing. Two things that you can do if you're in a rut, starting from zero with absolutely nothing. Number one is in the evening, for the day before the next day, write a to-do list. Every day you're going to write a to-do list. And the first thing on the to-do list is going to be to make your bed in the morning. You make your bed in the morning because you're starting the day with a win. It's the winner effect. If you do something that's getting you in the right direction, you're more likely to do more things that are going to make you win. If you want to be more confident, if you want more success in your life, then you start with small successes. You start with small wins, no matter how mundane and stupid it may seem. And then you build up off that. And that confidence leads to success. And that success leads to more confidence. It's like this snowball effect that happens. Night before, no matter what you got on, write your to-do list for the following day. It could be something as simple as make your bed, go for a walk, and get 10,000 steps in and train. Like, that's literally it. Go to work if you got a job. Sorted. So you're going to get up in the morning and you're going to make your bread. Make some bread. You're going to get up in the morning and make your fucking bread. You're going to knead the dough. Get up in the morning, make your bed, do it well, do it nice. So at the end of the day, you know that you can end the day in like this beautifully made bed that you made yourself. Make the bed, tick it off your to-do list, then go and do your whatever it is that you do in the morning. A few things that you should not do as well. Toxic fucking traits that I did. Do not use your phone before 12. Do not use your phone in the morning for social media, for scrolling through Facebook, through scrolling through Instagram, through watching YouTube videos. Do not fucking do it, because that is going to dig the rut deeper and make you feel even worse. To get the momentum, you want to take small steps and celebrate those small little wins, those tiny little things on a to-do list. Tick them off, celebrate them, small wins, and gradually you're going to build it up and up and up and up until you're starting to do bigger, better things and regain that momentum slowly. It's all about regaining momentum. If you're starting from square one, if you're in like the fat, depressed, weed smoking, video gaming, 10 wanks a day to porn loser stage like I was, it's going to be a bit longer to get going. But be aware that like you've just got to keep at it, chipping away, and the longer you do it for, the easier it'll get. This one is massive for anyone that is wants to change their reality, wants to change their life and ascend to something better. Stop hanging out with fucking losers. Like, this is the biggest one, and one of the biggest things that completely changed me. Like, why do so many people that move out of these small towns? If you're from a small town, you'll know people that have moved out of a small town and suddenly they're like killing it. Everyone in the small town speaks about them like, oh my God, this person's doing this and that. Have you heard about them? Like up in London or up in the city, making all this money. They're on TV or whatever it is, doing these things. Like, they move out of a small town, they transcend, they become something else. Or like they go to university, or you go to university and it's incredibly freeing and you become something else and you see what you're capable of. Stop hanging out with fucking losers, because you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Even if you don't like those people that you spend time with, you're going to be the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. We have these things in our brain called mirror neurons, the behaviors that we see, the interactions that we see people have, the habits that we see other people do. We are subconsciously going to mirror those behaviors and those things, and we're going to be more likely, we're going to absorb the personalities of other people. So if you've got a friend who is a fucking loser and is just always negative, always bringing you down, always holding you back, trying to stop you from doing things, maybe sleeps in all day, just does fuck all, smokes a lot of weed, always trying to get you to go to parties and get fucked up every weekend, takes the piss out of you if you're trying to do something that improves your life. Going to the gym is like, oh, I can't really be asked today. Maybe he doesn't go to the gym. Maybe he has all these negative routines, all these negative habits, and he isn't a person that you want to become. Cut them out of your life, man. Remove them, cut them out of your life, and get a social circle that is going to lift you up. You should be hanging around people that are doing better than you in life, that you look up to and be like, yes, I want to be more like these people because they are good honest, respectable people that are making more money than you, people that are bigger than you, people that are just doing generally better than you. You want to build a social circle where you are surrounded by those things. And if you are surrounded by fucking losers, you are going to be a fucking loser. So what can you do? Okay. What can you do if you're in a small town, if you haven't got any of these like high stats friends? Start going to places where you can meet people that are going to mentor you or form a new group. So start going to things that are going to attract wealth. Maybe join a nicer gym. Maybe if you want to get bigger, join like a bodybuilding gym. It doesn't have to be expensive. Maybe join like a nice spa gym. Join somewhere nice where these people are going to hang around. Go to a country club. Start going to martial arts. Start going to boxing. Start going to things where you're going to be in situations where you meet more people, and it's going to build that brotherhood, and you're going to improve your social circle and meet people that are doing better than you in life. One of the best things that I ever did was start skydiving. I started with Brandon technically, but then I continued doing it by myself. So I'd go all over the world to drop zones completely by myself, and I used to hate meeting new people. And some of the people that I'd meet through skydiving, because it requires money, it requires you to be quite young and athletic, it requires someone to be a go-getter, someone to be switched on. The amount of people, regardless of the amount of money I spent skydiving, the amount of people that have became amazing friends and mentors and people that are like slaying it in business from surrounding myself in that new social group from my old has been huge. And it's like, dude, I'm from a small town in the middle of nowhere where the average, it's like one of the most impoverished places in England. Like the annual salary is like the very rock bottom. I think it is the most impoverished place in England is shit. And like, I know no one like this. My parents are poor. I come from like council, state housing. Like I didn't have these things growing up. I didn't have this circle, but it's through like putting myself out there and meeting people that I built this social circle. And it's like these small wins lead to bigger and bigger and bigger things if you allow yourself, if you put yourself in the situation that gives you these opportunities. Long story short, you get out what you put in. If you put shit in to yourself, if you put in shit food, if you put in shit media, social media, if you put in shit people, you will get a shit product at the end. You get out what you put in. You feed yourself shit, metaphorical shit. You will become physical shit. So it's like, be very aware of what you are consuming, and just be aware as well, like you get out what you put in the sense that if you do nothing, you're going to be nothing. You have to work for everything. You have to work if you want to get to somewhere. And like, if you're starting this journey and you're struggling, like I said, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. It's going to seem like you're going nowhere. But the only thing the only reason that you're going to fail is because you are not willing to put in enough time and enough energy and enough commitment and actually do the hard work to get to where you need to be. That is literally it. It's like YouTube. People ask me how to grow on YouTube. It's literally like commitment over a period of years. Like I've been making videos for 15 years in total, and it's like people will always see the end product and will only see like the end results, but it's the hours and hours of consistent marginal gain, 0.1% consistently every single day with no reward that is ultimately going to get you somewhere. And it's the same thing for getting out of a rut, for mental resilience, for motivation. All these things that I'm talking about is like the only reason you're going to fail is because you quit early. So be in it for the long game. Be aware that it's going to take a while to get this momentum going, but you can do it. But anyway, that's getting a bit intense. Back to the subject of getting out of a rut and improving your life. So there's a couple of other things that I'd really, really recommend that you do. And I won't dwell too long on these, but there's two things. Okay. So number one is a morning routine. Number two is an evening routine as well. The morning routine is the morning sets the tone for the rest of the day. So how you start your morning is how your whole day is going to go. If you have a terrible morning, like you know from experience that your day is going to be not good. If you have a great morning, your day is probably going to be fucking great. Do you know one of those days where you wake up early and everything's going well, and then you're up early, you're out the house, you do what you need to do, and the rest of your day just flows beautifully? We want that every single day. So what you want to do is a morning routine, and there's three things that are essential for forming a morning routine. Number one is meditate. Number two is move. And number three is read. That's what I do every single morning, and those three things without fail. So meditation, dude, like I don't know what your level is watching this, but I used to think it was one of these stupid hippie things that only like self-righteous, like, yeah, fucking weed smoking hippies did and spoke about, and it like literally did nothing. But There are hundreds upon hundreds of scientific papers on the benefits of meditation, but like prestigious journals of neuroscience looking at the effects of meditation and how much it can improve your life, reducing stress, reducing anxiety, decreasing blood pressure, like mental effects on the immune system, your mental resilience. If meditation was a pill, it would be worth billions and billions and billions of dollars. And this isn't me just being like, oh yeah, like speaking from experience. This is all backed up by peer-reviewed scientific literature, like actual scientific studies. So anything I'm talking about, feel free to Google, go on Google Scholar. You can actually read the studies and find what I'm referencing. Why do I meditate? Well, I've got ADHD, so I struggle with focus and concentration. And there's a lot of science behind meditation. It's showing that people that are experienced meditators are able to concentrate for longer. They're able to get into a flow state better and easier. They're able to focus more on tasks, and the output of their work is going to be better as a result. Also, it reduces stress, it reduces anxiety, it makes you more mentally resilient. And then if you need anything else to sell it as well, your pain threshold from if you're an experienced meditator is actually increased. So you're more present, you're more in the world. There's a study done on monks, and what they did was they got I think it's a hot electrode, and they put it on monks that were experienced meditators versus normal people. And they told they were going to do this in a study, and they basically said, how long can you withstand this pain for? So they asked them to rank the pain, and they asked how long they could withstand the pain for. So what I did is I got this electrode, this hot bit of metal, and they put it on the people that didn't meditate. People that didn't meditate were like, 7 out of 10 painful, and they only lasted for a few seconds. They then got the monks, and they put I think they're monks, or it might just be experienced meditators. I can't really remember. Like I said, it's a paper. But they then got the experienced meditators, put the hot bit of metal on them, and they're like, how much does it hurt? And they were like 7 out of 10. So they ranked the pain exactly the same. But then the time that they were able to withstand that painful stimulus was exponentially higher. Like they weren't suffering, they weren't struggling, they were just accepting the pain because they had more mental resilience. It was still there, they still felt it, but it didn't affect them in the same way. And that's the same thing with emotions, with working out in the gym, with physical adversity. It's like meditating builds that. And it's not going to happen overnight. If you start meditating, it's going to be months doing it every single day. This is what I say to people. People are impatient. We're impatient before you're going to start to see changes. But if you stick at it and do 10, 20 minutes every single day over a period of a few months, you will completely transform your life. I don't talk about this much anymore. I used to all the time, but every single day for the last 3 years, I've meditated. Maybe I've missed a day here and there, but I've meditated every single day. And that is because I see how much better I am with a person, how much more relaxed, how much more chill, how much more nicer I am to be around, how much more focused I am when I meditate in the morning. Apps such as Headspace, Waking Up are really, really good for meditating. If you're just starting out, I suggest using Headspace. If you're more experienced, then moving on to Waking Up is what I use. But honestly, man, if I think everyone in the world should meditate, and it's like the only reason that you're not doing it is because you're too lazy and slack and you're not willing to put in the hard work. And if you're not willing to put in the hard work to give up 10 minutes a day to be mindful and observe your own thoughts and to be okay at being with yourself, it's very unlikely that you're going to have the resilience and the dedication to do these hard, difficult things that you need to do every single day. And it's like an investment as well. Like 10 minutes of time a day meditating might equate to an extra hour of hard, focused, deep work, which is then going to give so much more than that initial 10 minutes. Point 2 and 3 on the morning routine is move. So I go for a walk every single morning, providing the weather isn't absolutely shit. I move. I do something where I'm physically active. I get some steps in. There's studies relating to being outside in green environments, reducing rates of depression, anxiety, improving overall happiness. So I go for a walk. I try and walk somewhere green, listen to a podcast. I don't use social media until I hold off as long as possible, basically. But I just get outside, get that fresh air in me, and really, really prime myself to start the day. What also does as well is seasonal depression is a thing. If you're in the northern hemisphere, so England, when it gets darker earlier, it's very easy to get depressed if people suffer from seasonal depressional disorder. So what you want to do is in the morning, you want to go outside, get that light, from a sun in your face. You've got this circadian rhythm which controls your sleep-wake cycles, and getting that sun in the morning just really, really primes and sets up your circadian rhythm to get you energized and active throughout the day. And then in the evening, it'll mean that you're going to bed at a good time as well and getting proper sleep. Third thing I do is read. Pretty self-explanatory. Just conditions me to, obviously I learn something new, but also trains me to be able to sit there and actually do this boring, mundane task that I don't necessarily want to do, and trains my brain into doing things that I don't want to do and getting a benefit from it that I'm learning, and that I'm able to apply this focus to other things. Other thing that I suggest you do for getting out of a rut, and this is a big overlooked one, is evening routine. So I'm still trying to implement this. Like, it's something I've struggled with, but I do it pretty well now, is your evening routine. You want to have a routine where before you go to bed, you're kind of primed and ready for bed. I'm reading this book called Why We Sleep, and sleep is mental. If we don't get enough sleep, we have a weaker immune system. We're more likely to get ill. We're more likely to get cancer. I think it's like 40-50% higher chance of getting cancer if we're chronically sleep deprived. More likely to get Alzheimer's, neurological diseases. More likely to get heart attack, stroke, anxiety, depression. It's literally like the data is fucking mental on it. Like, it's so big. It will also reduce fat loss, stop us from growing muscles, make us secrete more ghrelin as well, the hunger hormone, and increase cortisol, the stress hormone as well, making us more likely to binge and basically fuck everything up. Because of that, that's why I say get an evening routine. 3 things that I suggest you do. Number 1 is read to reduce blue light use. I'll speak about that in a second. Number 2 is get some blue light blocking glasses. So some glasses to reduce the amount of blue light that's going to be absorbed into your eye. Talking about that circadian rhythm, if we're getting blue light, which is like similar to what the sun emits in the morning throughout the day, it's going to disrupt our sleep cycle and make us more awake and make us more like wired throughout the night and less likely to go to sleep and get a lower quality of sleep. Even if we're getting enough hours in, we should be getting at least 7 to 8 hours sleep a night, then the quality of the sleep is not going to be as good. Read, reduce blue light, try not to use any screens or your phone before you go to bed. If you do, put it on like a night shift mode so it's a lot warmer, a lot more orange, and isn't fucking your circadian rhythm. And then finally, get that journal in for the next day. Most important takeaway is get in an environment that is going to lift you up. Surround yourself with people that are going to lift you higher, and just do those things to keep that momentum going. Little habits, little routines, little things inch by inch. All these videos tie in to one singular thing. Keep that momentum going. Keep moving forwards. Keep celebrating your wins, logging your goals, and just whatever it is, inch by inch, doing something that keeps you driving forwards, keeps that momentum going, and you will soon get to somewhere better.